Outside Butler. Banked in off the glass. Outside Butler. Banked in off the glass.
All right, so now, as you can see, that layup was considered to be uncontested, right? It was considered to be open, and that's why I wanted to put that clip there to actually show what the on-screen contest percentage dictated, right? So now let's actually go into this, right? Let's play it all the way through one more again, then we're gonna get into it. Because that wasn't just it, right? I want to just show just how deeply engrafted that little script right there was put into this game. All right, so now he gets that bucket. Now, I mean, they could have at least said, what, 70%? They could have, because really that was smothered. He even fouled him, right? He even fouled him. He was not supposed to make that bucket. But the game, he made it because that was what was already embedded within the script. It was scripted for him to get that point. So now look at this. Pay attention. This is me right here, right? Now, at the three-point line, I'm kind of running around him because I want him to try to drive, right? So I'm kind of trying to give him a little space, but not too much to where he could get away, right? But I want him to drive so you can fall into my trap. But the game is, it already has it decided what was about to happen. So when you pay attention to my feet, my man, he plants his feet there. And when he goes for this drop step, he slides all the way back out of his way, right? Now, in real life, what happens is that you're not going to be allowed to do this because you can't go through that man. You can't just make him slide like that, right? It's probably going to be a charge, right? But the game is enforcing a point for the computer. They've already decided in the algorithms, narrative has already determined he was going to score. So when he goes for that, I'm forced to give him all the ground and space that he needs. Even my arm, it kind of bends in an unnatural manner, right? Because I'm forced to give him that space. I'm forced to give him leeway, right? By sliding and moving out of his way. Now, I'm not moving, but the game is moving me. So now he goes for that. He lands. Look at this man. He's behind the backboard, right? He's behind the backboard right here. And he has a dominant post-up defender smothering the life out of him, right? Right? And he goes for this. I should have blocked that, right? But I've already talked about in other videos how a lot of times you're forced to not block a shot, right? Even when you have an obvious clear block, perfectly timed and everything, the game, it determines what you're going to get. If you're going to get a block or a foul, if you're going to get a steal or a foul, if you're going to drop a dime, do a handle, or get a turnover. The game is deciding that. You have a certain level of influence, but the game can override it, right? The game could just say, nah, bump that. We decided you losing the ball right here. So that happens. Now you look at this, my arm is inside his arm. This is actually a foul. But the game, go back and look at the clip, the game determined this to be an open shot. Uncontested. How is that uncontested? That's one thing I'll say 2K21 had more realistic. It was more appropriate, right? The contest. What percentage they consider a contest to be. 2K22 has it totally jacked up. Like, it's rarely ever accurate, right? A lot of times computer is not even there. They're just barely closing out on you, but they'll consider their shot contest to be 25, 30, 40%, and they'll shrink your yellow bar. So now when you release by the time you release it, they make sure to shrink it right before you release it so that your shot will be off, right? But look at that. How is that uncontested? How are they considering this to be uncontested? That doesn't make any sense. He has not really, he's being contested by two men, but one guy in particular is just actually smothering him and fouling him on top of that, damn near blocked it, right? That is trash. That is pure and utter bullshit right there. Uncontested. How the hell is that possible? Right? But you got dudes that say, this game, this year, they've improved it. It's so much better. The animations and the logic and the AI and everything is just so much greater. No, the hell it's not. Stop lying. You know that that's not true. especially if you play ball. I can see somebody that don't really play ball on a competitive level. But even then, man, it's just common sense logic, basic logic. This is a contest. This is not just a contest, it's a great contest. Only thing is missing was a block to make it 100% smothered. That's nonsense. But once again, it was considered to be uncontested because the game is trying to say he's scoring this regardless. That's basically all that meant. So they removed the contest from the algorithm in order to give him the point automatically. They'll do that sometimes, especially in the third quarter. A lot of times the shot contest and release, the reader that pops up at the top of the screen, a lot of times when computers shooting in the third quarter, I don't know if it's just my game, but in the third quarter, it'll totally disappear. Every time computer shoots, nothing pops up. It's not telling you whether it was a green release or, you just see a green flash under their feet. It's not showing you the coverage or anything like that. But they just making shots, incredible shots back to back to back because the game is saying they're on now. You know what I'm saying? That the algorithm is just pushing them through. Right? It's just bringing them in arbitrarily and it's just allowing them to get what they want. So it's like bump the shot contest and the release, bump that. It doesn't matter anymore. They're making it. Right? This game is a piece of shit, man. Anyway, peace.